Hi, I'm Rosalind Wingo, and thank you for checking out this information on Biology 1 at Gainesville High School. Just a little bit about myself. I am new to Gainesville High School. I am coming from Westfield High School in Chantilly, Virginia. And while I'm new to the school, I'm not new to working in secondary schools. I spent about 19 years at Westfield working as an athletic trainer as well as a teacher. My classroom experience includes teaching biology, human anatomy and physiology, and health and physical education. I love teaching biology students. I'm a Girl Scout mom. I'm an outdoors person. That mixed with my love of sports medicine, I really try to show students how biology connects to our everyday lives. A little bit of information about the course. Our overarching theme for this course is to help students explore the biological functions and systems of life at a molecular, cellular, and systemic and environmental level. So we start big and then we work small. So we'll introduce ecology to start off the year, move into cells, how things move into and out of the cells, how cells are powered through cellular respiration and photosynthesis, how cells transfer information from one generation to the next with the use of DNA, as well as how they grow and reproduce, how inheritance allows for the passing of traits from generation to generation. And with that, when there's changes to our genetic code, it drives changes to a species that lead to evolution. And in that process of evolution, we can have species created and species go extinct. And what we find on Earth is a very vast, diverse ecosystem of many living organisms. And how do scientists even begin to classify and organize all of the life on Earth? Now, Biology 1 is considered a laboratory-oriented course, and it does conclude with an SOL at the end of the year. And we work very hard to try and give students the foundation and content that they need to be successful in passing that SOL. Now, there are also SOLs associated with chemistry and other lab-based sciences in the high school. But we hope that if they can pass the biology SOL with us, then they have met that requirement for graduation and wouldn't need to take an SOL in the future. So with that being said, we have quite a bit of content that we try and cover in a systematic but fairly quick approach. So let me go ahead and share a little bit about how I plan to introduce that to your students. One, I want them to think like a scientist. One of the very large elements of this class is learning to develop a scientific process. And we introduce that through a number of skills and opportunities to practice this through open inquiry labs. We'll run about one per quarter. And they give students the opportunity to really make their own observations, develop variables that answer hypotheses that they create. How do they collect this information? Are they going to put it onto a graph to analyze? And what type of conclusions can they make from their results? So on this picture here, you see students actually tracking termites as part of an open inquiry lab that we run in September. Lots of fun. Now, as we move through our material, I find that students are coming to class with so many different strengths, challenges, learning styles. And in order to meet everybody's needs, I have worked to put the biology curriculum into something called the modern classroom. And this really embraces blended learning as an instructional model, where you will see that students are given information from me into a streaming notes. We also have these teacher-created videos, links to flashcards, simulations, simulation labs that give this opportunity for them to really learn biology, whether in the classroom with me or catching up from home. It really gives opportunities for students to learn where they do best. We have broken up all of the content into lessons that I call NTKs, need to know. And at the end of each NTK, we have a target check that aligns with our curriculum and the SOL standards. And we realized that some students might find that some modules or NTKs take a little longer to process. It's something new. Others, maybe they feel very comfortable and catch on quick. We want the opportunity for students who need to be challenged to be able to move faster, students who need the extra time to take that time to really authentically learn. And so this modern classroom gives a little more flexibility for students to take ownership in their pacing. With this being said, we do have a unit test date that's scheduled on a unit calendar, but we work with students to develop strategies and planning approaches so that they can be successful in working through each of these NTK lessons in time to be ready and feel prepared. Sometimes students are going to get ahead and they're going to have enrichment or aim for it activities. Other times students are going to have to work back and choose remediation processes, but we're hoping to do this ahead of time so that all students find great success at the end of unit assessment as well at the end of the year. This focuses on something called mastery-based learning. I'm really not going to be encouraging students to just get something completed to check it off the box. In order to really be successful and work through these target checks with me, they're really going to have to show me that they've understood and found some piece of the material in our classroom that's going to help them understand the concept. So, a little bit about the assessment in this process. We mentioned that this class will revolve around mastery-based learning. With that being said, we know that some students will catch on quickly, others may need multiple attempts to work through this material. So each NTK, almost daily, students will have an opportunity to take a target check with me that's designed to assess their understanding of that day's learning target. And it will include one easy, one medium, and one more challenging question. And this really helps me determine whether they understand the concept after working through the streaming notes, after working through a lesson designed with simulations, models, guided readings, and so forth. Now, if I find that the student isn't able to get through the target check, they can circle back. I will direct them to some other support material that they can work with, and they come back for another attempt. We have multiple opportunities to work through this target check. Obviously, students learn how they learn best, and fairly soon they start finding methods to be successful in a faster pace. After students have made it through the target check, there will be an opportunity for some type of activity that allows them to apply the concept. Oftentimes in biology, it will be lab-based or simulation-based. On these activities, after the target check, students are given 2 opportunities to submit their answers on these labs. At the end of each unit, we will have a cumulative assessment of that unit material. And again, students will have had the unit calendar giving them that time frame. We've been working on our pacing guide to cover as much material as we can to prepare for that test. We are hoping that students with that built in with a review will be very successful by the time it comes to show us what they know on the test. With that being said, students can sometimes miss the mark and are disappointed with their performance and looking to show improvement. A second chance assessment is allowed in this scenario as long as they have showed that they have worked through all of the NTK learning lessons and they have worked with the teacher on some sort of remediation to prepare for a second attempt that will be successful. So what are some questions that you can ask your child at home on how they're doing? It's hard when you're not in the classroom. These are some prompts that I would give you to connect and communicate with them. How are you doing with your NTK lessons? Did you have a target check with Mrs. Wingo today? Are you on pace with the unit pacing guide? What kind of lab activity did you have to do today after your target check with Miss Wingo? Are you struggling to get the notes, the lesson, and the target check all done in one day? What is your plan to try and finish that in a timely manner if you can't finish it within the class period? I'll tell you one idea that I have is that this material very much lends itself to work as a flipped classroom. This would allow students to do the notes while they listen to my video similar to this the night before and complete the information in their guided notes packet. This would give them much more time in the classroom just to work on their NTK lesson, their target check, and their little lab simulation at the end. So there are lots of ways that we can modify and arrange this class for your child to be successful. If you have any concerns or want some ideas on what might work best for them, please don't hesitate to reach out and connect with me through the year. I hope this has helped, and I look forward to a great school year. That's all for now.